Shalom, party people, and welcome to the 12th C. It is, let's see, December 6th, 2023, day 6 of round 4 of 75 hard for me, cycle 1 for 2023, so just dropping a whole bunch of numbers and everything. This morning, myself and a brother went on some ruck marches. This is the bag that I carried with me. I do not recall the brand. I think these are a Maverick, M-A-V-I-K, I think. I'm not 100% certain. Fairly certain the bag's either discontinued or the company that was selling them was discontinued. I got it at like dealer cost on a clearance sale, so I'm sure it's even less than what cost was. But Black Rifle, no, not Black Rifle. Let's see, who was it? Black Rain Ordnance out of Neosho, Missouri. They had a huge clearance sale, and this bag and another one, I got them for like 20 bucks each. And I don't remember how many liters this one is. It clamshells, and I like it. And I've got currently 31 pounds in it of just generic, just grab and go bag. And got it slick, silent, secure, all that good stuff. And if you guys want me to do a gear bag where I open it up and show you what's in it, that's fine. But in a few weeks, I will be opening it up and increasing the weight that'll go inside. Probably end up throwing my kettlebell in there so that way I can ruck with 50 pounds instead of 30. But yeah, myself and a brother went for a ruck march this morning. I don't remember what the temperature was, but it was right around freezing. And we did 2.5 miles at a, kind of a fast walk. I haven't rucked in, I don't know, probably 3 months or so. And so this one was just more of getting back in the swing of things than anything else. And I intended to just whip out my phone and go about kind of ruck talk casting through that. My headphones were no good because they weren't properly charged, so that's a fault on my end. And lesson learned, just charge up Thursday night, because my intended video schedule for this cycle of 75 hard is Sunday. I will do a recap of the week and just, hey, this is the plan for the next week. This is everything I did, everything I ate, my highs, my lows, all that good stuff. And then Friday will be more of a legit, like, just ruck talk, free verse thoughts on what's on my mind, maybe stuff about what I'm reading, those kind of things. But all in all, I still enjoyed the ruck march. It was good. I enjoyed talking with that good brother of mine, and hopefully he'll join me and we can make this more than just a one-sided conversation. The book that I'm working through is Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, and man, it's interesting for sure. I'm almost done with the 3rd chapter. The book's divided into 5 sections. Go figure, your next 5 moves. And the first section is really about knowing yourself. And I think I have a pretty decent grasp on knowing who I am, what I'm about, what I want out of life. It did give me a few things to think about. I was unfamiliar with the term intrapreneur. I knew about entrepreneurs, which, that's your go-getters who are self-starters and, get something off the ground and grow it into something big, bold, and beautiful. And I guess I knew what an entrepreneur was, but I didn't know what the word entrepreneur meant. And basically, an entrepreneur is somebody who works within an existing organization and fosters a niche area, is usually a subject matter expert in something, and helps to grow and develop that, one side of things. So like your CFOs maybe, or your COOs, people who are in an organization doing cool things over something. It could be your IT guy who happens to be running a side project and ends up making things better. So, it's a very broad focus that an entrepreneur can be. And you don't have to be at the top by any means, but you do need to be so valuable to the people that you're working for that they pay you well enough to not go shopping around for other options. That's kind of the end goal. This section also talked about, hey, knowing what you want out of life. If you don't want to be a go-getter and you don't want to rake in the big bucks because you don't want to sacrifice the time and, all of the probably joys in life that you're going to miss out because you're doing 90-hour weeks or more, just to try and hustle and grind and, make the big bucks, then being okay with that and saying, hey, you know what, I would rather be a family person. I would rather be home for dinner every night. I would rather make a comfortable living, and here's my area, and I can develop skills in other places. And I would fall into that category, actually. I want to be home for dinner every night. I want to play with my children. I want to help make sure that I'm the one personally investing in them, as well as my wife. And I want to grow friendships and relationships. And not that I don't want my work that I do to be meaningful, because I have a day job and I probably will maintain a day job for a long time. I really would rather focus my my extracurricular activities on my family and the people that I love. And not that an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur can't do that, it's just they don't have near the time. And so I would rather be an intrapreneur with my family and make sure that goes, and have something that's steady, that pays the bills, that I enjoy doing, that I wake up wanting to go to work, but not having these long hours that are just there. I definitely don't follow the 4-hour work week mentality of, I just want a startup that I can manage from anywhere in the world. And those things would be nice, I guess, but if someone wants to pay me to stay home with my kids, I'd love to do that. That would be cool. Long term, there's some things that my wife and I are talking about, and I would love to transition from where we're at here to more sustainable living, for sure. And then potentially be able to supplement our grocery bill, for sure, with the food that we raise ourselves. Maybe not full grocery bill, because there's just not going to happen unless that's our full-time job, and that's really hard to do. But I do think you can sustainably take care of 40 to 60% of your groceries just by the food that you raise, if you're intentional with your gardening and your livestock. And then you can sell and trade that for the stuff that you can't do yourself, and make your own little network. And that's something that I would definitely love to work towards. I want to be more self-sufficient, but I understand that nobody survives alone. Nobody does things alone. And that's something that, is in discussion of the property that we are working on acquiring, that we've got things set. It's just kind of getting the minutia that's there. And it's family land, so it's not like it's something that we're spending big bucks on. It's something that, was going to come to us at some point or another through inheritance, more than likely, but we're able to go in and negotiate in advance and say, hey, we're willing to pony up this much in expense and deduct it from what inheritance would be in the future, and we want to live here and develop it and make it a win-win for everybody, and not just a plot of land that's going to sit until then. So that's something that we're potentially working on, and just getting some details smoothed out. I would love to be out there sooner rather than later. And through the winter storm that came through while I was in between cycles of 75 hard, kind of did accelerate some plans for us. So we're working on a few things here and there. Getting back to your next 5 moves stuff, I like the idea of knowing, hey, we need to have plans that are beyond 3 months. We need to be able to, all right, this is where I want to be, and all right, let's work backwards of all the steps that it's going to take, and then we need to develop contingencies for when things don't go awry. But we need to have long-term goals, plans. And part of that whiteboard video that I did, where I was going through for my whole plan for 2023, I guess that was part of it. And I've got steps of going where I intend to go with it. That whole thing is something that people look at and they're like, whoa, you're crazy, that's a whole lot to do. 4 cycles of 75 hard in a whole year, like you're only getting a few weeks off and all that. Like, well, yeah, but I've basically broken it down to 1 day at a time, and we're 6 days deep. And I think the hardest part of it for me right now is the diet. I would love more sleep, but the the restriction of my calories. That's something that I'm thinking about more than anything else, really, because the workouts are part of it. Something I'm realizing is my speed quality is not there, but this one's more about distance than anything else. And then this is also about getting stronger. My upper body is nowhere near where it needs to be. The other, I guess, factoid that comes into that is I've set myself a burpee challenge for this month. And the distance challenge that I've got, 8 miles, I know I can do that. That's not that big of a deal. I probably couldn't do it this second, but next week I'm going to be upping my distances and slowly working towards that. And I don't foresee an 8-mile run being that difficult for me. It's going to be slow, I can tell you that. But the burpee challenge that I set for myself of 1,000 burpees, man, I'm struggling to do 100 right now. I did 200 the other day, and that took me forever. So that's something that I really need to focus on. And there's cardio to burpees too. So it's not just, push-ups, because I could probably, if I had to, do 1,000 push-ups, not in one go by any means, but, break it up over the day for sure. But the 1,000 burpees, I'm like, oh man, that's challenging. But something that I'm working towards for sure. And if I fail at some of those challenges, that doesn't mean I failed 75 hard or failed for the year. That just means that it was a big goal that I set, and learn from it and move on. But doesn't mean I'm not going to go down swinging. So let's see. Free verse thought. I've got things that are going in and out of my mind. Some things that I'm just not going to talk about right now. But it's a new year. It's a chance to, if you go by this calendar, I guess it's a new year. It's a chance to, have some ambitions and to set some goals. I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions because, let's face it, they all fail in, a couple of weeks. If people haven't already failed at them now. But this is something that I want to invest in myself. And I believe that when you sit down and plan it out, that you have a better chance of success. And that was what that whiteboard video was. It was the intentions of, hey, this is how I want to spend some of my extracurricular time in 2023, investing in me, making myself a better athlete, making myself more conditioned and ready for when life gets hard. And this is more about mental toughness than anything else. I mean, yes, the physical toughness will come, but if I'm not mentally tough enough to handle when life gets hard, then it doesn't matter how physically tough I am. So as you can tell, I'm going back and forth. I'm doing the potty dance. And so I think basically 13 minutes is good enough to cut this video off. In case people were wondering, yes, I am bald. You may have noticed from my last go. This is something that I'm just seeing how this goes, and I've shaved it a few times since the beginning of the year, and this may stick around for a little while. The joke is, haha, it's growing on me. Well, I'm actually just more of taking some off the top than anything else. But thank you so much, everybody, for support and comments. I would really appreciate if people who are watching this, sticking around for 13 and a half minutes now, if you would like, subscribe and share this video. This may not have been your cup of tea, but I definitely would appreciate this channel growing a little bit. And I don't have the intention of this getting, big bucks monetized or anything like that, but I would definitely like more than 20 subscribers. I would like to encourage people to get off their butt, get off their couch, and go and do things. And even if that is, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop eating Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams, and I'm going to start going for a walk. I really want people to be encouraged to go and do things. And if we could help reach some more people, I think that would be awesome. Yes, I do have a vested interest in, I guess, the growth of this channel. If I ever could put money in my pocket, that would be great. But honestly, there's classes I want to go take. There's stuff that I would like to go do. And if this channel could help finance that, I think that is, a much more economical way of me doing those things. But if this channel never goes there, and this is just me talking to, 20 people on the internet, ultimately, I think I'm going to be okay with that. So you guys have a good one. Go do hard things.